Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What's Poppin' Podcast. This is episode number
11?
11?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, episode number 11. It's nice to see everybody. Those of you that are listening, hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves. I know it's been a while. We did not do one last week for obvious reasons, which is because the world is pretty much just going through some shit, you know.
Yeah.
That's just to say it lightly too.
Very lightly, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we're trying to get our situations at home, making sure that we were okay, family was okay, before we can actually sit down and record another one of these. Luckily, everything seems to be, you know, kind of chill at the moment, but, you know, things are still pretty heavy out there. And obviously, we just want to go ahead and get this across because we don't want the whole episode to be about the whole coronavirus thing.
Yeah, we don't want to be a bummer.
Yeah, you know, obviously, you know, a majority of you guys that do listen to the podcast or watch it from YouTube, clearly don't want to, you know, be informed more with this negativity, and we want to bring you guys nothing but positive vibes here.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much up to speed at this point. It sucks out there. Wash your hands. You know, if you're sick, stay home. I think everybody at this point's pretty much, at least in America, like pretty much quarantined at this point.
Right.
But
so definitely take care of yourselves, guys. If you need to leave your house for, you know, obvious essential reasons like grocery store to go get medicine or anything like that, just make sure that whenever you get home, or if you can, take disinfecting wipes, wipe down the stuff that you're going to touch, or wear gloves, you know, if that's an option too. Just take care of yourselves. As far as movie news goes, Tim, do you want to break it down for them?
Yeah, okay, so I can sum this up real quick for y'all. Pretty much anything, if you were looking forward to any form of entertainment that is movie specific, coming out in theaters and stuff like that, that's pretty much been put on hold for the foreseeable future until this kind of gets all cleared up. It's put on the timeout shelf in Hollywood as everyone kind of bunkers down to hopefully fix this all. I know a lot of movie theaters have also shut their doors to help kind of just be very clear with people. We're kind of putting a break on everything, which sucks for the side of things. It is, I want my entertainment, give me the movies. But it makes sense, and I think it'll be okay because, hey, then we have a lot to look forward to as they come out, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's the bright side of it, but
Exactly. And the thing was, we're supposed to do a review of Bloodshot, and for some reason, I got a really bad feeling in my stomach, and I remember texting Tim. I was like, hey, I don't think we should do the review right now. I think we should probably wait. And he said, okay, just because I had really bad feeling things were going to get worse, and sure enough they did. And then they started closing movie theaters down. First they actually didn't close them. They started limiting people to 50 people per movie theater.
I think it was like 50%, I think, right? Or was it actually 50 people?
I read 50 people.
Wow. Okay.
But if somebody wants to correct me on that, you know, I'm more than welcome to. Per movie theater in my area, and it was pretty wild, you know. That probably would have been not so good idea to go to a movie theater, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're in a closed space with a lot of people. I mean, it's just kind of like, if you think about it, obviously it had to get shut down and everything, and it's
that's when you know it was getting serious too, is the fact that when movie theaters shut down, because they never fucking shut down. Not even during the holidays. They're always open, man. So it's pretty wild to see that happen. But yeah, as far as the movie news goes, guys, there is practically barely any.
I don't think, honestly, if I'm just being honest, to brace anybody who listens to the podcast or watches, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of significant, you know, like newsworthy updates as far as movies.
We do have
for a little while.
We do have two things that we want to bring up.
Yeah, but it's going to be real slowed down just because.
Yeah, it's going to be really slowed down. But we definitely the one this episode, I really wanted to focus more on top 5, or not top 5. It's just 5 essential movies we think you guys would like to watch while you guys are quarantined at home. Or TV shows as well. Just ones that we liked personally, and if maybe you guys would like to give it a watch. So
Or
might as
even
well,
if
just keep it positive. And if
Mhm.
you guys have any movies or TV shows that you guys would like to recommend to us
Yes.
to check out, please either tweet them at us at either Mr. Hyrule or at Jimmy J List, or you could tweet it at the What's Poppin' Twitter as well.
Mhm.
And if you guys are watching us on YouTube, just put it down in the comments below. We're curious to know what you guys are watching. So that way we can, share each other's experience with some of these shows or films
Tell us your
and
binge
thoughts
list.
as well. Yeah, tell us your binge list at the moment. But two of the things that I wanted to discuss, one of them was actually being a Star Wars exclusive of The Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
Someone particularly got cast as a character,
Mhm.
which I don't want to say which character, just because Tim told me this, and I was like, dude, that's a huge fucking spoiler.
Yeah, I felt bad about that. I didn't think about it at the time because I was just so excited about it.
I didn't mind it personally. But I know some of you viewers at home, or listeners on on Spotify will probably be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, this is easily a grade A spoiler. Like, it's a big spoiler.
And it's funny because they kind of like said it unintentionally. It seems like the announcement,
Yeah.
without thinking too much about it. But Rosario Dawson has been casted in The Mandalorian season 2. Which I love her as an actor. I think she's really great. I'm not gonna say which character or anything like that. That's something that should definitely look forward to or look for in the next season for sure. So that's one of the things. And the next thing was I wanted to get your thoughts on, and I didn't
Okay.
even tell you this before filming. Was do you think, is it possible that a lot of these upcoming releases that got delayed, like A Quiet Place 2, what was another one that got delayed as well? Mulan. There was quite a few movies that
Black
that
Widow.
already had
yeah.
Black Widow. Yes, all these movies that had initial release dates. Do you think it's possible that we might get the streaming, like the VOD, the VOD
Well,
version of those films?
I think that really
Just gonna
depends.
wait it out.
I think that really depends. Right now, I forget which studio it is. I think it's Blumhouse. They're doing a trial run with The Invisible Man, which I and Jimmy both recommended
Yes.
in our review. Go watch that if you want to know any more details on that. They're doing a trial thing where you can actually get it right now at home for $20 to rent it, which makes sense if you think about it. Because if you go to the theater, per person, it's what? Like 10, 12, 15 bucks?
Yeah, it's max. It's $15. $20. I have been to movie theaters, $20, but that's like a premium experience.
Right. And where it makes sense from the home is that that's one charge, and you can have your whole household that's quarantined with you watching it there with you. It's actually discounted that way.
For 48 hours, too, so you have 2 days to watch it.
So I think it really depends on if this is successful. If they see, oh, people are willing to pay that kind of higher, like, scary price, but then they think about it and they do it. If enough people do that, that might make the studios go, hey, we can kind of recoup a little bit by going ahead and doing this. Which, in my opinion, if that turns out to be successful and they actually start doing that more often, that has the potential to change the movie industry as a whole.
Yeah.
So this is big.
This is big. This whole thing is giant because one, if they start releasing some of these movies, I don't think they'll do them all the way like this. But I think the ones that had initial release dates, it could affect the movie theaters a lot because they're. For my knowledge, movie theaters don't really make money off of ticket sales. They make it off of concession.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that like the average ticket movie theater gets like 50 cents to $1 for every ticket that they sell.
Yeah. So that's not where their money's at. Their money's definitely concession.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of these movie theaters could definitely take a huge hit, man, depending on how long this actually lasts, right?
Yeah.
Now, back to the subject of these movies being released on VOD. I would really like it personally.
Same.
Especially for these particular top 3 hits, which is A Quiet Place 3, Black Widow, and what was the other one?
Mulan.
Mulan.
Move on.
Yes, I would like for at least these three to be put on VLT to kind of put the you know, just everybody in the world at ease a little bit and distracted from chaos that's going on. To be able to watch these, in the comfort of your own home. Not only that, like it will make the studios well, the people see that the studios actually, care about getting these movies out for us to be entertained.
Yep.
I think it'd be great, man. Especially $20 is not that's not bad to be able to watch it at home. Like, dude, I'm down. I'm gonna pay $20.
Yeah.
And hopefully that is the thing, because if it is, then that means we can still do our review. At the moment we won't have any reviews to come out with. It's just gonna be us, well, pretty much talking about just different topics, and I'm assuming the next two podcast episodes, maybe even longer than that. Just depends, cross our fingers that it isn't that long.
Now, I will throw this out there. I haven't discussed this with you as an idea, but I'll go ahead and throw it out there just to see if you like it or anybody who's listening might like it. If there's a particular movie that, for the time being, because we don't know how long it is that we can't see new releases and stuff, there's a particular movie that you think would be fun for us to take a look at that you don't know if we've seen or not, we might give it a rewatch, and we might tell you our thoughts either in a podcast episode, or if we want, we could do a full review. It's just up in the air. But
that'd be a really good idea for sure. I'm down with that too. So yeah, definitely give us your suggestions. Yeah, so that'd be awesome. So yeah, don't expect this episode to be too long, but we definitely want to get into our top 5
movies or shows first.
5 movies, or not. I keep saying top 5.
Yeah,
not top 5. It's just 5 movies that we think you might like, and also shows as well. If we said top 5, that'd be it. That's not gonna happen. Only because I have more movies that are.
It's a top 5 of all movies.
Really complicated.
That's a top 5 list of all movies ever is almost impossible to answer.
I hate watching those top 5 type videos because there's no way, man. There's no way.
It's hard
because I could pick top 5 movies in each different genre.
That's the only way I could think I could possibly even try it.
Of top 5 overall movies, like that's too hard. But we definitely want to give you 5 movies that we think that you might enjoy, and also TV shows. And if you have watched these, let us know what you thought. I'm curious to know.
For sure. Have a conversation with us. It's gonna be good.
Would you like for me to start, or you?
Well, we can bounce back and forth with movies. So I'll say one, go back and forth with you, and just kind of see if we have anything in common as we go. If you want to do that.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. All right, so for me, we'll start off with movies, right?
All right.
First movie I would like to recommend that I don't think a lot of people have seen or even know that exists, because there was a TV show that kind of was like made after the movie. It's called Lemony Snicket's in a series of an unfortunate event with Jim Carrey, though.
With Jim Carrey, okay.
With Jim Carrey. Now, they did make a TV show a few years later after the film's release with do you know the actor's name again?
Oh, he was in How I Met Your Mother, I believe, right?
Yes.
He's a magician. He's very funny. Cannot remember his name to save my life. Damn it. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, though. Is he the
So
the guy
he's
with the hair?
He's in the Netflix series. Yes, he's in the Netflix version of that. But I want to recommend the movie. I think you guys should watch the movie because I love Jim Carrey's portray of Count Olaf in here. It is so freaking good, man. And not only that, I just love the whole vibe to it.
Right.
It's just the tone. It's just so great. And if you guys have never watched this movie, please do yourself a favor. Give it a watch. I personally enjoyed it. And it was funny, too, because I didn't watch it until it actually came out on like a DVD or something. My niece or nephew were watching it. I'm like, I sat there watching it with them, and I'm like, what is this movie? This is really good. Because it is definitely family friendly. Yeah. I'll let you know that much. It is family friendly, so you guys can watch it with the whole family. You guys are just chilling out, popcorn, quarantined in. So definitely give it a watch. Next movie, Tim, what do you got for us?
See, that's the problem though, is that I kind of cheated. I told Jimmy this when we were trying to come up with this stuff. I was like, I suck at just choosing one, and so I kind of went by franchise, and I hope that's all right. But I chose Harry Potter as a franchise.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's
sit down.
Right there
yeah,
too.
Sit down, grab if you have a twig from your front yard or not, or a wand if you're one of those guys in a robe or whatever. Grab popcorn and just sit through all 8 movies and have a blast with that. I don't need to say any more than that. It's a magical time. It's fun.
Yeah, and I think majority of people already have either one been recommended to go watch it already, or two have already heard a lot about them.
Oh yeah.
So now would definitely be a good time if you haven't seen them to just give them a watch. And for those of you that have never really cared for these types of movies, still just give it a shot. And I promise you that from the first movie all the way up until part 8, the film changes in tone
and maturity.
By part 8, it is so freaking dark that you're just be like, what happened from part 1? Where it's like it feels like Home Alone, where it's just the music, the colors, and it went straight to like Hell's Gates. Like,
it's intense,
freaking intense. And I think you guys should definitely give it a watch for those of you that have never seen them. Great stuff. So that was it.
That's my first pick anyway. What's your second one?
Second pick is I'm gonna go ahead and throw out a scary movie since might as well talking about Hell's Gates here. As Above, So Below. It's currently on Netflix too. So you guys if you've never watched it, this is probably one of those underrated horror movies that doesn't get talked about that often. And I
forgot about that.
Really enjoyed it, man. It's just, think of it as a darker version, a scary version of like a Tomb Raider / like Indiana Jones. Not really Indiana Jones, but a group of people go to these the catacombs in Paris.
Yeah, it's Paris.
Yes, and it is pretty intense and very claustrophobic.
Well, what's crazy too about that is that those catacombs are real, and their whole history in real life is kind of spooky in of itself.
Yes,
and so this movie's,
you should definitely give it a watch. There isn't so much gore, so you won't have to worry about that. Yes, there obviously is killings because it is a horror movie, but it doesn't focus so much on the gore. It's just more of imagery, and also it likes to play with your mind a bit. But it is very creepy. I think some of you guys should definitely give it a watch because a lot of people definitely not watched it. Every time I bring it up, they're like, "What?" So go check it out.
That's one of those. That's one of those. I feel like it'd be really fun to not tell if you have a significant other or a friend who's living with you.
Yes.
Not tell what you're watching and kind of just let them think that it's going to be kind of a fun time, and then let them slowly realize that it's not so fun.
That is a good idea. That's definitely a good idea too. If you're gonna spend some time with your girl or your wife, if you guys want to watch a movie together, recommend this movie. Watch it. Don't tell her what it's about, and just have a good time because you will. I promise you. But go ahead. Your second pick.
My second pick. Everyone who knows me will know that this is coming. Lord of the Rings. Come on. If I have an opportunity to recommend something, I'm going to eventually recommend Lord of the Rings. I'm just the biggest. I'm one of the biggest Tolkien stands out there. So I just sit down, watch it. If anything, it passes the time. Okay, it's like almost 12 hours if you watch the extended editions back to back. That'll knock a day out. And if you haven't seen it before and you love it, that was a day well spent. And if not, at least it was something in the background. But
Two Towers is
that's your favorite?
That's my favorite one, man.
Oh wow. Okay.
I love Two Towers so much. It is such a great movie. But they all complement each other perfectly, though.
Oh yeah.
Going from the first to the second, and then the third is just like, holy shit. Okay. Yep. But yes, I 100% recommend it. Now let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What about The Hobbit?
Okay, so the Hobbit movies, they're goodish, right? So they have a lot in there to love. And if you haven't seen them, definitely give them a watch and form your own opinion. They're very complimentary. They take place before Lord of the Rings. If you want to add them to the binge, that's like 24 hours now. Go for it all you want. I personally find the Hobbit movies 1 and 2, Unexpected Journey and The Desolation of Smaug, to be decently well-made films. They have flaws, but they're a good time.
You also get some recurring characters from the from the original Lord of the Rings movies.
Yep.
Which is great.
The third one though is because
it is a prequel, so you're bound to run into a couple characters from
Yeah, the third Hobbit I would say is a bit rough. So if it's real bad, you can turn it off. It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, my recommendation is Lord of the Rings. If you haven't given them a
Lord of
shot,
the
please
Rings.
do. But most people have. So that's my number 2. What's yours?
All
What's your
right.
third one?
So my third one is actually a trilogy.
Ooh,
And that is Back to the Future. I have
saw
to
that
throw
coming.
this. I have to throw it because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Not only that, I feel like it's just a flawless freaking movie, dude. Obviously, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about the third one, but I think all three of them complement each other in different ways.
Yeah.
And the way this movie is like thought out in advance of like how they did things to like in terms of story, man, I'm telling you, it is a classic, and I don't think it should ever be remade.
Nope.
I don't. I really don't. So I feel like this is definitely one of those rare movies where it shouldn't be touched in terms of remakes. Maybe potentially a sequel or something if they want to bring back Marty as like an older person or something. But as far as remakes, do not touch.
Yeah,
But
I
yes, if you
agree.
guys have never watched Back to the Future, now would be a good time to go watch it. Especially the first two. You don't necessarily have to watch the third one, but if it's too boring for you, but I still think you should watch all three. I love each and every single one of those movies. But yeah, that's definitely one.
I loved Back to the Future, man. I think my
Mhm.
favorite one is the first one because it's just the
Mhm.
magic in the bottle that started
Mhm.
everything. But
Right.
it's one of those trilogies that's extremely quotable. It has a ton of lines that when you hear them, you know it's a quotable line. It's very weird, but it's awesome. And it's got a lot of stuff that a lot of other movies have almost kind of been inspired by, and you can definitely see it as well.
Mhm.
And it's kind of cool to see how that movie has influenced things since its time. But yeah, it's definitely a trilogy that if you haven't seen, you're doing something wrong. You need to fix that, and this is the perfect time to do that. I think
Right.
for
All
sure.
right. So your next pick,
My next
number
pick
3.
is another trilogy, and I think you'll agree with me in why I say it's a trilogy and not a 4-movie spread, and that is Toy Story. I think
Oh.
if you, I don't know anyone who hasn't seen Toy Story, but come on, it's a good time to watch it. Toy Story 1 through 3 is one of those trilogies that
Oh,
it's
so you're not
just
including the fourth one in there, huh?
no, no. I mean, you
Okay.
can watch it if you want, but I'm recommending 1 through 3 of Toy Story because
That's you can count part 4 as DLC. Like
yeah,
if you don't have to play it, you know.
yeah. But yeah, I cried like a baby at the theaters watching Toy Story 3, and if it's been a long enough
Mhm.
time and I rewatch it, you can bet there's some tears that start forming,
Right.
and I start having that bubble in my throat, and I'm like, oh, it's really great. I love it. It's a fun time. There's so many iconic moments in those movies alone, and I think that they're perfect, family friendly. Everyone can find something to absolutely love while watching this. So I can't recommend Toy Story 1 through 3 enough. Please,
Absolutely. I
please
still
watch
watch them
those.
to this day. Actually, I've
Yeah.
been watching them. Probably I watch them at least once every week.
Oh
All
wow.
4 of them.
Wow.
The fourth one I tried to not watch as much. The only reason why is because I usually have it as background for my son, so he's always just like either playing with his toys or just either I'm teaching him colors, ABCs, and all that stuff, and he just likes background. It just makes him put him at ease, you know. But yeah, great films. I agree with you. Fourth one, DLC. Like I said, you can do without it. You're totally fine.
Yeah.
Me personally, but yeah, that's a good pick, man. I didn't expect that. All right.
Yeah.
Now, next one
Number 4.
is a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Ooh, okay.
One that I don't feel like gets talked about that often.
Okay, so it's not
And
Pulp
that
Fiction.
is, it's not Pulp Fiction. It is The Hateful Eight.
Solid.
So if you guys love westerns and mystery murder movies, I think you should definitely give this one a watch. Now, there's 2 versions on Netflix at the moment. There's an extended version, which I think is like 6 or 8 hours long. It's something ridiculous.
I
But I
haven't
think you
heard of
should
that.
watch I think you should watch the standard original version. You'll know because one of them says extended and the other one it just says Hateful Eight. Watch the one that just says Hateful Eight. Um, it is
Oh,
an incredible movie. I love it so much, man. I just love the music, the tone of it, and I just love westerns personally.
Oh yeah,
That's like, but like, dude, they is man, the shots, the scenery, just the cinematography, dude.
it's one of those
So
masterworks for sure.
yeah, so good. So I think you should definitely give this one a watch if you've never have actually watched it, because honestly, I don't think a lot of people have seen this one. I think this is one of those Quentin Tarantino movies that got skipped by a few. Um,
Yeah, it flew like under the radar. Maybe it came out at a weird time. You didn't go see it, and then
mhm,
you saw it came out on the rental, and you're like, "Eh, let's watch it sometime," and you never got
mhm.
around to it.
It is
I
completely different in tone and as far as from Django. Just to kind of throw that out there for you guys.
true.
Not like Django. It is something different. I
Yeah,
promise you.
I ended up watching it. I think someone rented it from Redbox, I believe.
Hmm.
Or maybe it wasn't Redbox. It might have been Blockbuster Movie Gallery. I don't think it's been that long. But
Hmm.
um, we watched it kind of offhand. I was like, I haven't seen this before. Loved
Yeah.
it when we saw it. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
I've not heard about the extended it. Like, what
Yeah.
what in the world did he add to make it that long?
Oh man. Honestly, I don't think I've actually watched the entire thing, but like, it's just the longer dialogues,
Oh,
for sure. And that's pretty much what the Tarantino movies are.
yeah.
There are a lot of dialogue in it, but
I might have to
it's
give that a watch
dialogue
just
that
because
yeah,
curiosity.
it's good. It's good. I haven't finished watching the extended one, but I will. But I think you guys should definitely give the original one a watch. It's definitely
Hateful
worth
Eight.
it. Yes, please. Hateful Eight, go check it out. What's your number 4 pick?
My number 4 is just a single movie, although if you want to continue the franchise, you can. Okay? This is Jurassic Park, the first one. I That's one of those movies that is timeless to me. The visual effects hold up still today. It has some of the most, I don't know, goosebumpy music I've heard in a movie. When they are at the park, it's a theme that is etched into your mind when you hear it. And it's got a lot of moments that I love. Not just because the little kid that's in peril all the time throughout the movie is named Tim and is called Timmy throughout. But there's a lot of awesome moments. They even made up a dinosaur that gets Newman from Seinfeld, if you know who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
It's one of those movies that it's timeless. You gotta watch it, and this is again a perfect time to do so. Um, and again, if you want to continue it, number 2 ain't bad. I think that it gets a bad rap for moments it has in it, but overall
Okay.
not terrible. And 3 I really like. And I will never trust anyone with that ringtone ever in my life. Nope. And then the new is it called Jurassic World, right? It's the new series.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's up to you guys if you want to dabble in that too. But my recommendation is definitely the first Jurassic Park to get you started.
The
It's a
first Jurassic Park. And I
yeah.
agree with you on that one. I think the first one is the classic, hands down. Um Now for my last pick.
Yep.
Um it's gonna be a movie I know a lot of people haven't watched.
Okay.
It's definitely popular. Um so it came out in 2002.
Oh, okay.
It's cool. It's kind of a long film as well. It has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think it should be a little bit higher, personally. Um, the movie's called City of God.
I haven't heard
Have
of
you
that at
ever heard
all.
of it?
No.
No. Okay. Might not be for you. I'm not sure. It might not be for anybody that's actually listened to. But I'm gonna go ahead and just let you guys know it's about crime in the 1970s. It's a foreign film, by the way. The language is that's spoken is Portuguese.
Okay.
But but there's subtitles
Yeah.
obviously. And it's taking place in Rio de Janeiro. So it is a really good movie. I got recommended this film a few years back when I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm just like, I've never heard of this. And
Mm-hmm.
it literally blew me away, man,
Oh wow.
because I just didn't I didn't expect, I didn't know what to expect going into. That's one thing, right? But it takes place in obviously Brazil, and these kids grew up with each other in, a world of poverty and just, just having to survive in the ghetto.
Okay.
So they one of them takes a path of being a photographer for a newspaper, and the other ones take the path of being gangsters.
Oh, okay.
I will. That's the most I'll say. It gets very interesting. Obviously, there is violence. There is gun violence, and it shows you the world that I think it might still be like this out there. Maybe not like as bad as it portrays in the movie, but I have seen cases of like kids being in gangs and stuff like that, like young kids that are like
Oh, yeah.
9, 10 years old, and they
Breaks
show
your
all
heart.
this in this movie, and it sucks, that the way they grow up, but some of these kids have to survive a certain way, and I mean, yeah, give it a watch. I 100% recommend it, even if you only want to watch the first hour to see if this is your type of movie. I personally really, really enjoyed it. It's underrated as hell.
Do you know
don't really hear go ahead.
What platform could I find that?
I believe it's on Netflix. I want to say it's on Netflix right now. So
you could probably rent it off YouTube too, I imagine.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. I'm sure.
But it was called what again?
City of God.
City of God. Okay.
Yeah,
that's one I'm gonna definitely check out, because that sounds like something that I would want to watch, because I like a lot of movies that have, I don't know, like a weight to it, and that's got some serious subject matter that would pull at the heartstrings, but also
trust me. And the ending is just, it will throw you off. Like just the entire film, it will throw you off because you're not knowing what to expect, and it's nuts, man. I really enjoyed it, so definitely give it a shot, guys. That was my last pick, number 5. And I told him I was going to throw a curveball at him, and I was going to recommend something that most people wouldn't even think of.
But I had never heard of that before. I'll check that out for sure. My final pick is a series once again. This one is the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the new ones, with Andy Serkis as Caesar the Ape. Or I don't know if ape's the right term. I think it's ape. He's a chimpanzee, I believe, right? I'm not sure. But I love all 3 of these movies. I found them to be really good. I think it's a really solid trilogy. Again, it's really satisfying. And each movie has a different tone and style of being shot. And I even think that over the course of the 3 movies, the technology for the apes and the way they captured the performances got better as they went. So as you go, it gets even more immersive. And it's some of the most well communicating and portrayed apes I've ever seen without it being someone inside of a costume. Like, the actors who played the different monkeys and apes, they did such a marvelous job of making you believe these are real life animals that are intelligent to a degree, and it's intense. And there's moments that actually kind of almost make you almost fearful because of how intense they get. But it's a really solid time. I recommend it wholeheartedly.
Out of the 3, which one did you enjoy the most?
2 was really solid. I enjoyed 1 for being kind of a realistic-ish take on how things can spread. Kind of, not to bring this back up, but kind of like how pandemics kind of spread. It was that the way that movie ends is very like showing how that just kind of goes crazy real quick, and that always kind of made me fearful. But 2 is really, really solid. But 3 is really good. I really like 3 a lot. It's hard to choose between 2 and 3, but if I had to choose, like I was being forced to, I would choose 3. I really like the way that movie kind of sums up the whole trilogy in a really nice package. It's really good.
I love Planet of the Apes. I love the classic 1970s ones as well.
Yes.
Like, I have those on Blu-ray. I even like the Mark Wahlberg one. The 2011 one, I know it was a hit or miss for me. There's certain things I liked, certain things I didn't like. just because they changed the story around so much in the 2011 one compared to like the other ones, that for some reason it was just like whatever to me. But I did enjoy the second one the most. I haven't seen the third, so I can't speak in regards to the third one, but I will watch it soon. Now that you recommend it.
Yeah.
The second one was actually directed by Matt Reeves too, who's directing the new Batman movie.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You know, I just throw that out there. You know, so I definitely enjoyed the second one a lot more in tone and yeah. The Caesar in that one is like pretty much already a badass. So
yeah,
you know, he was still pretty much kind of like a baby in the first one. Where you know he didn't want to let his master go, and his master was good to him and stuff. So, you know, that's where it got emotional. That part I did enjoy. But in the second one, he's like a badass and he's a leader, and he shows it. Which is really really cool. But yeah, that's awesome. So now definitely
that's the movies.
That is our top 5, or not top 5 again. That is our 5 movies that you should watch during this quarantine.
Yes.
So please go give them a watch. I have 5 shows, and you have 5 shows.
Yes, I do.
That we think is probably binge worthy in your opinion. Do you think they're binge worthy?
Yes.
They have to be, right? They have to be, I would say. So you want to go ahead and start it off, and then I will go ahead and
absolutely. My first show recommendation is actually a Nickelodeon show. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah, that I did not expect that.
I will say this, and I don't say this with any levity. It, along with Lord of the Rings, and I would say maybe Star Wars, is one of the most influential pieces of media I've witnessed in my life. It is something that changed me, my perspective, my likes, my dislikes. I think there is not a single thing about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show that originally aired on Nickelodeon, that I would change. I think it's a masterclass. It's only 3 books, 3 seasons. Although some people get triggered when I say season with that show. It's something absolutely wonderful. And it's very original. The music is moving. The story is both fun and touching, and at points very heavy. It's got some of the finale to the whole show is one of the most crazy things, because the buildup for the whole thing has been so insane that at the end it's so satisfying. Everything that you see, every punch, every kick, every joke, it lands. It's just awesomeness, and I can't recommend that show enough. Please do yourself a favor.
Okay.
Watch that shit. It's good.
Right on. Now, what about the movie?
Fuck the movie.
I just wanted to hear that. That was it. Okay. I will go ahead and give you guys my TV show, which I'm going to be very basic on the first one.
Okay.
Very basic. Okay. First TV show I think you should definitely binge worthy, because some people out there, believe it or not, have never seen it yet. And that is Stranger Things. I do think this show is binge worthy, especially the first season. Oh my god, first season's so great.
You can't hit next episode fast enough.
No, so I'm telling you, the first season, it is different in tone in terms of the second one. I'll tell you that much. Second one, it's okay. Third one, a lot better. Totally worth watching. And then now that we have the fourth one coming out, yeah, so to definitely get caught up before season 4 comes out. Either hopefully next year now, or maybe you know, we can get lucky and get it this year in October.
We'll see.
Like it's intended to come out. But yes, I can't say anything else other than please check it out. You guys will love the cast of kids that are in this TV show. Definitely worth it.
I want to say, I will say this about Stranger Things, because I was talking about music. The music in this show is extremely iconic from the get-go. Like, you don't want to skip the intro. At least I don't. Whenever I watch the show, I let the intro music play, because it's just that much of a kind of a bop. You know, you just want to listen to it. It's good.
Sure, yeah.
So I agree.
No,
100%.
they definitely hit the 80s aesthetic and tone and vibe to everything. Yeah. So yes, give it a watch, please.
For sure.
So that's my first pick for that. Now,
Yep, that was actually my second pick. So
Oh,
yeah. So that's a double recommendation because we haven't had that yet. So
okay.
that's a no choice in the matter. You got to watch that. You got
So
to check
that's
that
good
out.
then. That's good then. All right.
Yeah.
So now I don't feel so basic either.
No. It's
All
well,
right. So
maybe
let
that
me
is
go
more
ahead and give
basic
you
than if we both
guys.
chose it.
Right. Let me go ahead and give you guys my second pick.
Okay.
A show that not a lot of people have watched yet, but I think you should, and that is The Punisher
Ooh.
with John Bernthal. He is the Punisher, man. There hasn't been a Punisher on screen that I've really, really liked. From all the other movies,
Mm-hmm.
I never care for them. I mean, the Dolph Lundgren one was a little funny at times.
What
But
year did that come out? Do you remember that Dolph? Because like
80s for
yeah,
sure.
it's
Um,
it's definitely one of those kind of era. But I've seen snippets from the show you're talking about, the Punisher one, because that was on
1991 was the
91.
original Punisher, yeah, with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you guys don't know who Dolph Lundgren is, he's the Russian in Rocky 4. Yeah, he played Punisher. A lot of people don't know that. So, fun fact. And yeah, that one was okay. It definitely it hits the tone of early 90s. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But John Bernthal is the Punisher, man. If you guys have not yet, I would recommend even watching Daredevil season 2 because that's where he makes his appearance in.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, that's where he makes his appearance in, but he's not technically the Punisher in that just yet.
Okay.
But by the first season of the Punisher, he becomes,
How many seasons of the Punisher was there?
There's only 2 seasons, as far as I'm aware of. And then they canceled it because of the whole merge between Disney and,
Yeah, which that probably really sucked because it was probably...
It did, but there has been rumors that the Daredevil in the Netflix series might make an appearance in the new Spider-Man.
That'd be hip. That'd be hype.
And if that's the case, that means that the Punisher that John Bernthal play is from that same universe. So,
yep,
because they do make references in these shows, for those of you that are unaware, from watching the Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and especially Daredevil and Punisher, I think those two make the most references to the actual Marvel characters, like Spider-Man, Captain America.
They were always very loosely connected. The movies never, I guess, had time, or they didn't want to necessarily make it where you had to see the shows to understand the movies. But now, because audiences are like, hey, we'll actually want to do that, I think that's kind of leaving it open for Disney and Marvel to go, okay, well, here you go. They're connecting now.
Exactly. So I would love to see John Bernthal come back as the Punisher, and hopefully in the film somehow. But I think you guys should definitely go check out these shows. Go check out the Punisher. I think actually there's 3 seasons, if I'm correct. There might be 3 seasons. Yeah, cool. I think there's 3 seasons. Go check it out. All 3 of them, great. I can't say anything better enough. Like I love John Bernthal. That's why I think as an actor, he's definitely become just an overall badass. And I don't think he gets casted he doesn't get like I don't know, man. I think he gets undercasted a lot of the times in a lot of these films. He's always a side character. He's never like a main one. Yeah. So hey, he definitely shines in this show. And you guys will know what I'm talking about from watching the first season of The Punisher. Yes. So definitely go give it a watch. But yeah, that's my second pick. What's your third?
Okay, my third pick is on Netflix, The Haunting of Hill House.
I haven't even seen this one myself, so go ahead.
This is a show that, if you know what to expect, it's still entertaining, but go into this without looking anything up, trust me. Because there's reveals in this show. There's a lot of question marks that you have that get answered. You have to believe me, by the end of it, it's 100% binge-worthy. When my wife and I saw that on Netflix, where we just kind of clicked on it, from episode 1 right at the get-go up until I think it was 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning that night, we watched it all in one sitting. It was wild. Loved every second of it. There was one jump scare in The Haunting of Hill House that has gotten me worse than any jump scare I've ever seen, and I'm not trying to hype it up. It's so well hidden that you don't see it coming. Like, there's no warning. There's no typical, you're staring at something, it's going to pop out at you. No, it comes out of complete...
Eating breakfast, chilling out, and all of a sudden, wow!
But it's like, it makes sense and it's deserved. It's not cheap either.
Okay.
Like, it's fantastic. It works great.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming up too. Like, someone warned me about it, and so I was like waiting for that to happen.
You had gotten spoiled by it, but
yeah, and it still got me. Like, that's how good it was. So like, I think this is such a good spooky time. It's a little graphic at points. I'll say that just in case you get queasy about that stuff, but it's worth it. It's really good. So check it out if you have the time. It's really good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't like had the time to like sit down, but now I'm going to start it tonight, actually.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'll give you my review.
I can't wait to hear about what you thought.
Let you know what I thought about it.
Low key. I want you to, just even if it's just for me, but I think you do what you want to do. I would love to see your actual genuine reaction to a certain point.
Okay.
Who knows if you're gonna, if you know when that would happen. Yeah.
I will give you
That'd be fantastic.
Now, number 3 is a show that I know that you wouldn't think I'd watch. I think a lot of people wouldn't think but I think it's worth checking it out. Okay. It is called Glow.
Glow.
The glorious, I believe, women of wrestling. I think that's what it is.
What in the world are you talking about, Jimmy? I've never heard of this at all.
Dude, I don't know if you know this, but back in the 80s, there was like a wrestling federation, but it was just for women.
Okay.
And they, this is not obviously like pinpoint accurate. For the show, it doesn't pinpoint accurate everything that happened, like in the actual, thing. But the idea of the show is to kind of showcase that there was, women's wrestling at one point, and it was just all women's characters.
Okay.
Just doing their thing. But it is so good, man. It actually is really good. You should definitely check it out. It is 2 seasons at the moment. We are going to get a 3rd one, hopefully sometime next year.
I assume this is Netflix.
This is Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive. So give it to watch. I think you might enjoy it. Now, this is a bit on the rated R, just to keep you guys, let you know not to watch it with the kiddos. This is definitely something you would want to watch with your significant other or yourself. It is really, really good, though. I like it. The casting's great. It is very funny at times. So give it a watch. Glow, I recommend it. 2 seasons.
That's just completely blindsided me. That surprised me. I did not. Damn,
hey,
dude.
man, I gotta throw curveballs, dude. I gotta throw curveballs.
That hit me in the side of the head.
I cannot give you guys the basic answers that most people are gonna expect out of me. So I'm throwing curveballs, kind of change up the pace for certain people that I think you guys should definitely be open-minded to watch certain shows and movies. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's definitely one of them. It's more on the comedy side than anything. It's not so much serious, more on the comedy side, just so you guys know. So I think you guys really enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your number 3?
My number 4 is also a comedy. This one is an anime though. It is called Space Dandy, and this is also not for the kiddos to watch. It is just, I don't know if I want to say stoner humor. It's a good time. It's very funny. It's mostly a comedy. It's set in space. And the villain is in like a giant mech flying through like, trust me, it's a drug trip of a time, but try it out, dip your toe in there, see if you like it, because if you do, you're one of my people and you're gonna have a great time. If you don't like it, no hard feelings. It's not for you. My wife, not for her, but for me, it's a blast, and I love that show a lot. It's very fun.
Nice. How many seasons?
I don't remember how many seasons specifically. I just remember watching it low key. I'm going to say this. I probably shouldn't out loud. I watched it illegally, and so I didn't have necessarily in like season format. So
I hear you. Okay.
It was a good time. I'll say that.
Okay.
It was a different time for me as well. It was in college days that I watched this. So
college days. Okay.
Yeah, but I recommend it overall. It's very funny.
Forgive it. College days. Come on now, you know. You got to make it work.
Hey, if you're in quarantine and you're binging shit, this is a good thing to binge to.
Okay. All right. One number 4 for me is one that we've already talked about on the podcast before.
Okay.
That I think you guys should definitely check out. And I think I recommend this show to Tim. Saw one episode and he's like, Jimmy, what the fuck? That is You. If you guys haven't seen You, go watch it. And go in there, don't read anything about it. Don't watch any trailers. Go watch the first episode. And if you like the first episode, what it brought, that's what you're gonna get pretty much the entire season. I enjoyed the first 2 seasons. There's only 2 seasons right now. I enjoyed them. For some reason, the last season though, season 2, the way it ended was a little weird, but I still think it's worth watching altogether, like season 1 through 2. So go give them a watch. I recommend it. You guys will probably binge it because I binged both of the episodes. Or not episodes, I mean the seasons. So yeah.
Can I tell him a little bit, or do you want me to just absolutely leave him blind? Because I won't say what it is.
I don't just tell him what it is, but I want you to tell him, what was your experience like and why you didn't continue to choose to watch.
Well, I will say that with You, I was expecting, which you should as well, because it's definitely got elements of it in there.
And by the way, this isn't for kiddos. This is
yes,
TV show. So
for sure. It has elements of romance in it that I was expecting, and then I wasn't expecting. And that's what I'll say. But it's kind of unique that you don't see in anything else, and I think that's the biggest compliment to it, is that it's very unique. And so if it's up your alley, which it very well could be, because it is good, you'll want to watch it.
First episode. That's it. It only takes one episode to kind of give you that idea whether this is going to be for you or not.
Correct.
So go give it a watch. Let me know. And go ahead. Number 5.
All right, number 5 is another anime. I went full Weibo on this one. Tokyo Ghoul. If you have never seen this show,
what the heck? I didn't expect you to name so many animes, man. That would be my department where I would be recommending animes, but you're throwing curveballs too. Okay.
Yeah. Tokyo Ghoul was introduced to me by one of my exes, which I honestly am very thankful for. I'm not going to say her name. No,
I'm just saying who? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But this show was holy shit for me. I don't know. Have you seen Tokyo Ghoul?
I have not seen it yet, but I keep getting people to recommend. Like I've had so many people recommend the show to me, and I still haven't got around to watching it, but I want it so bad.
Okay, so I'll say this again, not for the kiddos here. This one is very, in one word, I would say brutal. It's
okay.
It is a very violent, hard hitting, but great. And the opening theme song to Tokyo Ghoul, man, I don't know if there's a song that gets me more like I want to punch someone. I'm ready to fight kind of music. It's hard to top it for me. It's up there. I wanted to say Attack on Titan, but this one edged it out, and I love Attack on Titan. So for me, yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, check it out. The main character is iconic. Once you see what happens with this main character and what he goes through and what he does and what he kind of looks like, you'll almost want to buy some shit to wear like him. It's very interesting. I loved it a lot.
Okay, right on.
So yeah, that's my number 5 spot. I don't know about you.
Number 5 spot. Okay, so number 5 spot for me is going to be a classic TV show that I think some of you already had definitely heard of, but some of you have never watched because you just never went back. This aired on Fox years ago. It is called Prison Break.
Dude, I loved that show.
Yes, what I'm saying, man.
I forgot about that.
I personally look. Take my advice. Only watch the first 3 seasons.
It did have a sharp drop. It did have a sharp drop.
Watch the first 3 seasons. Don't watch any of the bonus seasons or the bonus episodes or whatever. Just watch season 1 through 3. Just leave it at that. You will have a good freaking time, especially season 1. 2 are great.
Yeah.
And you guys should definitely go give this one a watch. It is a classic. And it is very smart. The character is, dude, he is so intelligent, and you guys will love him. I think you guys will really, really love it. It obviously takes place in prison, and the whole objective is to break out. And will they do it? Probably not. You're just gonna have to find out, and definitely go give it a watch. Do you recommend it? In your opinion, do you think so?
Yes. I mean, I forgot that show existed, but that was a show. There was very few shows. I forget when that came out, but it was around the time I was still living with my parents. Mm-hmm. I didn't watch hardly anything my parents watched. But when Prison Break came on, I was downstairs with them watching that as it was debuting. I loved that show. It was really good. So 2 thumbs up with that recommendation. You surprised me with that too.
There you go. All right, good. So I want to throw a bonus one out there because this is something I've been watching recently. Yeah. Go check out Chef. It's on Netflix. I know you've never heard of this. It's just a cookie show, pretty much, but it's very therapeutic. Then. It is very therapeutic. Not only that, it is the way they cook and everything just seems very normal to me and very relatable of how either I would cook, girlfriend would cook, or just somebody else. You understand? Like, it's not like overly done. It's just stuff that you can definitely do yourself as well. And they also break down everything, like what they use for ingredients and stuff. Go give it a watch. Watch the first episode, and you guys will know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Super good. It stars Jon Favreau, by the way.
Happy?
Yes. The director of The Mandalorian. So if you guys are, definitely give him a watch. And there's even an episode where he goes to a restaurant and he's having dinner with Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers.
Whoa.
What's this? Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr.
Wow.
And they're pretty much having dinner at a restaurant where I guess the chef taught them, some of their favorite dishes and stuff like that. But not only that, you should watch this episode because there's some interesting conversations that they have in regards to the Marvel movies. And it is really cool. I think you guys should definitely check it out. So Chef, that was a bonus one because that's what I've been watching recently.
I like it. Yeah. That's good stuff. All right. But yeah, I don't know if I have any bonuses or anything, but I really enjoyed talking about this. I was surprised by several that you recommended.
Right. And I was surprised by yours. Yeah. I didn't expect that.
The anime ones, for sure.
Yeah, especially the anime ones. I'm like, well, okay, this man. All right.
I've seen things, Jimmy.
He's a man of culture. Okay.
But no, I hope you guys let us know also if there's any shows that you're like, I can't believe they didn't say this is essential. Tell us. I want more recommendations because who knows how long we're going to be in quarantine.
There's so many more movies I could recommend to you guys and shows that I could, but I wanted to give you guys something different. For a lot of these, like obviously there was some that you guys are like, oh sure, your thing, but I wanted to throw it out there for people that have never actually watched it, and give them a reason to. Please, now is a good reason to watch it. It's good. Now we could give you guys next time if you would like, give you guys another top 5 or another 5 list, or we can try our best to give you guys a top 5. We could try.
If we do that, hey, I'll say this. It's impossible to do a top 5 overall. I would do like a genre theme where we talk about our top 5 picks for a genre.
That'd be a good idea. If you guys would like for us to give us an idea for like a specific genre you would like us to give you, like a top 5, we could do that. I could definitely give you a top 5 horror movie list, in my personal opinion, like for sure, that are very dear to me.
I kind of hope that they choose romance, so we really have to dig deep.
Or romance. I got some romance. And
I have like 3.
Have you seen The Notebook?
I haven't actually, believe it or not. I get a lot of shit for that.
Ryan Gosling. Well, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, I know it wasn't as long as the other ones, especially because we don't have any news to cover. And if you guys like this type of the podcast, where you'd like for us to like tackle more on specific topics, or if you guys would like for us to touch on like top 5 stuff or things around this, nature, let us know. We'll definitely shoot some more episodes like this.
Yeah.
And the next 2 episodes are probably going to be something like this, not like a 5 list, but something else in regards to film. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Tim, it was good seeing you, man. It's good to see that you're back and healthy, because I know you were a little sick too. You're a little concerned.
I'm alive,
but you look great and you're fine. You sounded great.
Thank you, Jimmy.
But thank you guys so very much for listening. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, please like, share the video. And also, if you guys just found our podcast on Spotify, please follow it. Tim was informing me that it has actually been doing really, really well on Spotify. Yes. So I just want to say thank you guys so very much for supporting us. It means the world to us. And as long as you guys keep listening and keep watching, promise you guys, we will continue making these. And hopefully, you guys can definitely spread the word and let people know about What's Poppin' Podcast. Other than that, thank you guys for watching episode 11. And we will see you guys hopefully very soon.
Yes.
Catch you guys next time.
Bye.